we've had an unfortunate situation, a few people making some bad decisions.
The flash mobs.
Flash mobs.
The so-called flash mobs.
Unruly flash mobs.
The police is the real flash mob. Uhuru, we out here on South Street, a gentrified area of Philadelphia, South Philadelphia, where in the most recent site of the so-called flash mob, what the ruling class media has been calling the flash mob, and the International People's Democratic Uhuru movement, we found it necessary to really intervene in this whole discussion about what the media is calling the flash mob, because first of all, they're using it as an opportunity. The media and the government is using it as an opportunity to criminalize African people, especially African youth.
Some people think we should wait until people kill people before we're serious with them. Well, I think the time is when they're juveniles and they're doing things like this for them to know that antisocial behavior is unacceptable.
It's not these young Africans that we see on the front page of the Daily News and on Channel 10. The real flash mob is the police department, is the DA's office, it is City Hall. Because even before there was a discussion about a flash mob, they was inflicting brutality and oppression on the African community on a regular basis. It's not these young Africans that beat down our community on a regular basis. It's not these young Africans that keep the African community, 40% of black people in this city live below the poverty line. These young Africans are not using $1 billion on police, prisons, and courts that attack our community every day. In fact, the same young Africans that they call in the flash mob are victims of a war being waged against the African community by the city of Philadelphia.
The amount that must be paid in response to certain code violation notices to avoid condition of further proceeding under certain terms and conditions. That is the messages will be printed in a journal. I would ask the chief clerk to please read any other communications. That's all I have, Madam President. Thank you.
On March 19, 2009, Diop Olugbala and his comrade Shabaka Mumbata were attacked by police during a special city council meeting where Philadelphia Mayor Michael Nutter was going to announce the 2010 war budget. In 2009, Nutter spent $1.1 billion of the city budget on police, prisons, and courts that do nothing but attack African people. At the same time, the city is cutting services from the African community like swimming pools, libraries, and after-school programs. And the city raises an additional $200 million for police and prisons by charging the people to have their trash picked up and increasing sales tax.
You can't just come and not secure our black children. I mean, you got to secure our black children the same way as you secure the Caucasian children. They're on the Parkway, they're in the Fairmont section. We are entitled to the same conditions because why? We're taxpayers too, homeowners too. Yeah. You know, we want our neighborhoods cleaned up the same way, you know.
You're right about that, not even that. Just like me and my neighbor, they gave us a fine for $50 because we picked up the trash from outside the neighborhood and we bagged it up and put it right there in front of our doorway. I said, I'm picking up trash off the street. And they gave me a fine. They gave me a fine for that? Yep.
Diop and Shabaka were attacked for holding up signs protesting Nutter's war budget. Diop now faces a felony charge of aggravated assault on the police, even though the police attacked them. The government is trying to lock Diop away because he is building a movement to organize African youth and the entire African community. More and more young Africans are beginning to fight back against their oppressors in the schools and in the streets. All that is missing today is organization for Black power. When we had organizations like the Black Panther Party, the U.S. government feared our movement. The U.S. government attacked our movement in the 60s. They locked up and killed our revolutionary leaders like Malcolm X, Fred Hampton, and Lil Bobby Hutton. They attacked the Black Panther Party. After they killed all the revolutionaries, the government put sellouts like Michael Nutter and Barack Obama in charge of our community.
I want to preface my question by saying, first of all, that I have no regard for this process because we've seen clearly how your administration and the city of Philadelphia, even before you, has done nothing but attack the African community, criminalize our community, deprive us of the simple things that we need to live. And for more than that, when we look at all the attacks that are being made on our community right now, in the form of numbers of murders of young Africans, in the form of economic estranglement and starvation of our community, when we see your same administration, your chief right there, DA Lynn Abraham, who has never ever indicted any cop for murdering African people in cold blood. My question is, what are we supposed to do when the ones who are supposed to uphold the law are the ones who act like criminals? And my belief is that we shouldn't be here to give any credence to this mockery that you call a town hall meeting. But we need to be here to put you, Mr. Mayor, and Ramsey and this whole administration on trial. Because y'all are criminals. And the same that you deprive us of are the resources that African people provided for you over my hard labor in the prisons right now. That's what built the economy. Imprisoning African people. The city of Philadelphia has provided more than 80% of all people locked up in prison. Say, trial. We are putting you on trial for crimes of genocide being committed against the African community in the form of the murder of Sweet Lee Jones, in the form of the murder of Danielle Giddings, Lamont Norman, and Michael Johnston, and countless other Africans. And right now I'm going to serve for you the people's subpoena, where you are expected to appear in our court this Saturday, December 13th, to defend yourself before the people.
Diop represents the new generation of revolutionary leadership in our community. He is living proof that the government cannot stop organized African resistance. The International People's Democratic Uhuru movement is calling on the Africans of the youth uprising in Center City and South Street to join the revolution. Mob on the courthouse. Demand freedom for Diop Olugbala and the entire African community. Join the Uhuru movement today. Uhuru means freedom.
And you cannot respect the oppressor. You cannot respect your oppressor at all. And at that juncture where African people understand that we are due reparations, when we can throw off this illusion that's been imposed on us, that somehow the American government and American system has suffered because black people have lived off the welfare of white people. When people can understand that, our folk can understand that it is not we who have imposed a welfare burden on America, but America has lived off the welfare of Africans for at least 400 years. When this begins to happen, you can see that young brother, young sister standing before some judge, white judge, black judge, don't make no difference, right? And being told that he is charged with stealing such and such a thing. And this young African being able to look him in the eye or her in the eye, right? Because now anybody can get a piece of the action. If they act right, they can participate in oppressing African people, right? And you can see this young African looking this thug in the eye and said, I know who the real thief is. You understand? I reject this concept of me being a thief, because everything you got, the suburb that you live in, the tree-lined community that you go to and safely every day has come as a consequence of what you have stolen from my people, from me. You have inherited the wealth that was created by my mama, my grandmama, and I'm going to take it back no matter what you do.